Well, hey there. Welcome to today's stream. Apologize for running a few minutes late today. Let me know in the chat where you're listening from. Hiroshi's in Japan. It's 1 a.m. there. Hello from rainy Maryland. Sunny afternoon in Hamburg. Alright, well, here's a beautiful piece of music that I hope you enjoy. Trevor says, hi from Somerset in the UK. He is nearly as good as me. All right, Trevor, let's play together. Cameron says, good to see you again. Great playing. I appreciate that. Yeah, it's not nice to be here with another live stream. I'm not sure if you saw my last stream, but I'm in my new studio space here and getting the sound and the visuals dialed in. So let me know if you have any feedback on the sonics of what I'm doing. Sounds pretty good in my headphones here. Good morning from Wisconsin, says Catherine. Well, here's a song from my most recent album. The album is called The Prize, and this song is called Wandering Man. It was a request from a fellow who sent me a message requesting the tab for this song, which I don't have yet, but I'm going to play it so that you can kind of see what I'm doing. Okay. Let's see if I can get some sound out of this Telecaster. That sounds like a guitar. Okay, here we go. A 1, a 2, a 3, a 4. was born with a wandering night. He'll deceive you, he will leave you all alone to cry. A wandering man ain't no kind of man, he was born to make you blue. It won't be long till it's gone, and what you gonna do? He's a wandering man, he's a wandering man. Like silver sand slipping through your hands, he's a wandering man. A wandering man ain't no kind of man, he will only let you down. The sun will rise to no surprise, he won't be around. A wandering man ain't no kind of man, just a lesson to be learned. You light a match and play with fire, you're bound to get burned. He's a wandering man, he's a wandering man. Like silver sand slipping through your hands, he's a wandering man. He's a wandering man, he's a wandering man. Like silver sand slipping through your hands, he's a wandering man. Kind of man, he was born with a wandering night. He'll deceive you, he will leave you all alone to cry. Wandering man ain't no kind of man, he was born to make you blue. It won't be long till it's gone, and what you gonna do? He's a wandering man, he's a wandering man. Like silver sand slipping through your hands, he's a wandering man. He's a wandering man, he's a wandering man. Like silver sand slipping through your hands, he's a wandering man. Okay, that was Wandering Man. I appreciate the request from the fellow who sent me a message about that song. Good. Connor, Thomas says, sounding great. Okay, I appreciate that, Connor, because you have a good ear. All right. Yeah, we got a nice little crowd going on at the moment. Yeah, this is kind of the new time slot I'm experimenting with. I'm sorry it's 1 a.m. in Japan, and I guess a few hours later than that in Australia, but it's 10:18 a.m. right now, where I am on Mountain Time in Montana. It should be, I guess, the late evening in Europe. Yuri says, it's so good to see you live, Joe. First time at a convenient time in the afternoon. Greetings from Kiev. Thanks, Yuri. I'm glad you could tune in. Jen says, I wonder how many play along or harmonize with Joe. Yeah, I wonder how many of you out there have a guitar. Okay, here's a song that is relatively new composition of mine. It's called Flow. I play this quite often, but it's because I like playing it, and I get a few requests to play it, so here we go. This is Flow. I saw a comment there that made me laugh. Someone said, "That's not a new song." And I was like, you know what? Guilty as charged. I did write it a few years ago. But I don't know. I just sometimes you have phrases that you say on stage. Like, this is a new song because it is like it's newer than some of my songs. But to redeem myself, I'll play a song that's genuinely new. I performed this one time on like a private call with people who are in my guitar teaching community, and I'll play it for you guys now. This song is called "Nature is My Teacher." Tuning right. That'll do. Here we go. Many Vibe says he tunes super fast. That's because people are watching me. Here we go. There's a hurricane around me, blowing up against my plans, stirring up all kinds of memories of what I crushed with my own hands. Just a sky to make your neck feel humble, watch it cry. With every strike and rumble, here I lie on this rock I can't control. And once more, nature is my teacher. Once more, nature is my teacher. There's an earthquake under my feet as I'm camped up on this hill, stirring up all kinds of memories, the ground I've lost from standing still. And once more, nature is my teacher. Once more, nature is my teacher. Northern lights on the horizon, way up in the summer sky, stirring up all kinds of memories of when I dared to fly that high. Once more, nature is my teacher. Once more, nature is my teacher. All right. There we go. I guess that was the first time I played that song with the capo. I usually play it in G. So that was an accident, but got through it. I'll play another new song that's a instrumental tune that I'm working on. Yeah, this one time years ago, someone sent me an email of a song. And it was like a young band. They sounded like they were teenagers. And they were playing a song that they basically took all my chords and my riffs and they wrote their own song. And it was kind of like they were implying that I took their song. But I'd written the song like years ago, like 5 years ago. And sometimes when I play new songs, I think maybe someone's going to steal them. But if you can play them, good luck. All right, here we go. Here we go. As you can hear, I haven't quite finished it, but got a nice vibe going on, so there you go. Okay, I played some new material. Got that out of my system. Should whistle. You know, my mom is a really good whistler. She could whistle, like, any songs. Like, she could whistle Flight of the Bumblebee. And growing up around the house, one time I timed how often she was whistling during the day, and it was like 30% of her waking hours was spent whistling. And she would go from one song, like she might be whistling like she might be whistling like a Beatles song, and then she'd go into another song, and then she'd go into a Neil Young song, and then she'd go into another song, and it was just like this continual medley of tunes. My mum's a very musical person. And, yep, she can whistle, but I can't really whistle very well. So there you go. Saw a request for some Chet Atkins or Gordon Lightfoot. So I can play both of them. Play something from each of those great people. Wow, I've been streaming for like over 20 minutes now. So if you enjoy the music and want to leave a tip, I have a tip jar. The tip jar should be linked down below the video somewhere. The tip jar link is joerobinson.com/tipjar, TIPJAR. And I thank anyone in advance who enjoys the music and wants to leave a tip. You don't have to, but it helps the music keep coming. So thank you. So here's a little Just Be. He didn't write this. He didn't write, a lot of tunes, but he was a master arranger. So here's a little bit of Elizabeth Cotton, arranged by Chet, and then I'll see where that takes me. If you were paying attention. There we go. Thank you. Jerry says, that guitar sounds fantastic and your touch is perfect. I appreciate that, Jerry. Yeah, the touch is something I really take a lot of pride in working on that and trying to get the dynamics between the notes just perfect. The humidity is very low here in Montana, and I noticed my guitar it's hard to get it just so it really functions well with a lower humidity, so I'm still trying to figure that out. But yeah. Hey Joe, how do you balance the volume between the thumb pick on the bass fingers on the high strings? I have the bass sounding much louder than the high strings. Yeah, that's pretty common. So when people are learning fingerstyle guitar, I have a series of fingerstyle guitar courses, by the way. My teaching website is invisibletechnique.com, and I have a beginner, intermediate, and advanced series of fingerstyle courses that I have so many great comments and so much great feedback on those courses, so you can check those out. But the way to get the dynamics between the thumb and fingers is to really get the thumb so it's moving automatically, so you don't need to really think about it, and the thumb can just power away and allow the fingers play whatever melodies you hear. And you want to focus on trying to get the melody notes to be clear and sustained, and the bass notes to be playing a supportive role, kind of like sizzling in the bottom. You don't have to use the thumb pick if you don't want. You can play it just with the bare flesh of the thumb. I like to mute the bass strings because if you listen to the bass strings, they're playing every quarter note or every eighth note. And if you don't mute them, they just start to ring together, which is cool if you want to sound like a kind of a folky kind of player. But to get that kind of really satisfying illusion of two guitars, then if you mute the bass strings and let the melody strings ring out, just making that up, just a random melody. But yeah, that's the goal. So it takes a lot of repetitive practice. I've come to a new realization about practice. I used to kind of practice and play and kind of do some combination, but now I've decided that practicing is just the boring, repetitive, hard stuff. Usually involves a metronome. Usually involves just playing the same thing over and over and over again, but really trying to get your hands to be relaxed and cooperative. And then playing is just, it's kind of what I'm doing now, is playing music, playing songs, having fun. And yeah, it's kind of like there's two elements to playing music. There's playing, which is fun, and then there's practicing, which is hard. So anyway, I don't want to rant on too much. Yeah, let me play something else here for you guys. Yeah, the other request was for a Gordon Lightfoot song, so let me play a great Gordon Lightfoot song. I'll just pull up the lyrics here. The song's called Shadows. And I do need a capo for it, excuse me. I first heard this song on a Tony Rice album, and I really enjoyed the song. Of course, Gordon Lightfoot was behind the writing of it. Okay, here we go. You reach out, love, and touch me. Let me hold you for a while. I've been all around this world, and still I long to see you smile. There's a shadow on the moon, and the waters here below do not shine the way they should. And I love you just in case you didn't know. Let it go. Let it happen like it happened once before. It's a wicked wind and it chills me to the bone. And if you do not believe me, come and gaze upon the shadows at your door. Lie down by me, baby, run your fingers through my hands. I've been all around this world and still I do not understand. Is it me or is it you, or the shadow of a dream? Is it wrong to be in love? Could it be the finest love I've ever seen? Set it free, let it happen like it happened once before. It's a wicked wind and it chills me to the bone. And if you do not believe me, come and gaze upon the shadows at your door. Kiss me gently, darling, where the river runs away, in the mountains and the springtime, on a blue and windy day, where there's beauty all around, and the shades of night grow deep, where the morning stars grow dim. There we'll find us in the shadows, fast asleep. Let it go, let it happen like it happened once before. It's a wicked wind and it chills me to the bone. And if you do not believe me, come and gaze upon the shadows at your door. Was everybody having a good Saturday morning / afternoon / evening / Friday evening? Well, no, I guess it's late Saturday, early Sunday morning in the Southern Hemisphere. Got some nice comments coming in. Hey Joe, greetings from Lithuania. Can you play a song on your acoustic with the looper and grab electric for melody or solo? Thanks, cheers. Well, I can't actually do that right now because my acoustic is just coming through the microphone, and I don't have the microphone hooked into a loop pedal. So when I do looping, I can do it with the electric guitar, and then I can play acoustic on top. Something like that. It's a bit of a backwards way to do it, you might think, but I'll give it a shot. Why not? If you're enjoying the music, then I can point you in a few different ways to support what I do. You can hit the like button. That works on YouTube or Facebook. We're streaming on both platforms. And when you like the video, it tells other people to check it out. And you can also share the video if you want. If you want to hit that share button on Facebook, thank you very much for doing that. And what else can you do? Well, I have a tip jar. The tip jar is joerobinson.com/tipjar, TIPJAR. And thank you in advance to anyone who decides to leave a tip. And I have some merch. On my website, you can go to joerobinson.com and you go to a store, and I got some CDs and whatnot. Kind of the final copies of a few albums are going out at the moment because I'm kind of moving away from CDs because no one really listens to CDs anymore. But if you're like me and you have a car that has a CD player, then you might want the CDs. Thank you so much for making my Sunday morning even better, Joe. Do you have any tips for keeping guitars in tune? I realize that it's probably a lengthy subject, yeah. And I'm probably not the person to talk about it right now because I keep tuning my guitars, and it's a constant battle. Sometimes the best sounding guitars also are the ones that don't stay in tune the best. My Maidens all have pretty good tuning stability, but one of the things about a Telecaster is it's never going to be perfectly intonated. It's got, unless you do those like zigzag frets and go into all this kind of into these waters. But if it sounds too in tune, it kind of sounds wrong. So I guess my tips for keeping your guitar in tune is put a fresh set of strings on, stretch them really well. So you pull the string, stretch them like that, and then you're probably going to have the guitar be pretty stable in tune for I don't know how many hours, 5 hours of playing, 8 hours of playing, something like that. And then once the strings get really old, that they'll start to not be in tune as well. When I'm practicing, I'm usually playing on a guitar with really old strings because I don't want to like ruin my fresh strings. So I'm playing on a guitar with old strings, but you never want to play on a guitar with rusty strings. But anyway, it's yeah, a bit of a lengthy subject, but and of course you want to have a guitar that's pretty well set up, because it'll make it easier. What version of Telecaster do you have? Well, these are made by a solo builder, and I can't give you his name because he asked me not to, but it's not made by Fender. There are lots of really great builders out there who make beautiful instruments. So there we go. Okay, so a bit of looping, which was the request. Here we go. Here's a blues song called Trouble in Mind. Hope you like it. Wait, give me 1 second, mate. I got a little pedal issue going on here. 1 second. Okay. Crisis averted. Trouble in mind, Lord, I'm blue, but I won't be blue always, 'cause I know the sun's gonna shine through my back door someday. I'm going down to the river, and I'm gonna take me a rocking chair. And if these blues, if they don't leave me, I'll rock on away from here. Let's see what it sounds like in acoustic. Well, I'm gonna lay my head on that lonesome railroad line and let the 219 special ease my troubled mind. Oh yeah. Good fun. Carlos has a good question. Which nut width do you find more comfortable on a Telecaster? I like a more modern radius on the telly. I agree. The vintage ones, they feel a little bit like you're skating on thin ice and you're about to fall off. Yeah, so a little more modern radius, but other than that, pretty traditional Telecaster is my yeah. It's a go-to guitar of choice. People are sending me nice comments. I appreciate that. Thanks for the niceness. Sometimes I'll check my phone. I don't check my phone as much as I once did. But I'll check the comments, and then I'll see someone just ranting and raving about some garbage, and I'll just delete or block them. So it's nice to see some positive comments. No, I'm just joking. The vast majority of comments are positive, and I appreciate that. Andrew Francis said, beautiful Joe, can you talk about how to spice up a 12-bar blues regarding the chords? What's your thoughts process behind those different chords you're playing in that 12-bar key of G? Well, yeah, I'll talk about that a little bit. You know, I was playing that chord progression. I was thinking, you know, I'm not really thinking about the chords. I'm not really thinking about what I'm doing. I'm just trying to be in the moment and channel that kind of that vibe. But it took a bit of time before I could kind of get to that place where I didn't need to kind of cerebrally be aware of what I'm doing. So basically what I would start with is basically a G7, and you can riff on a G7 however you want, your G9 like that. And then you go to the 5 chord, which is a D7. Then back to a G7 chord. Walking up to a C, which is the 4 chord. And sometimes I'll do a walk up where you go to that chord, which is a B minor 7 flat 5. Also kind of, you can think of it as a G9 with a B in the bass. You can also play it here. So then walking up to a C, which is the 4 chord, and then a C sharp diminished. And of course with diminished chords, they're symmetrical, so you can move them all over the neck. And then G7 to a D7, and then some kind of turnaround. So you might do like a, which is the bass and the melody. Or you might do this one, which is that same, but down here. So just to recap, it's a G7 to D7, G7, walking up to a C7, or just a C, and then a C sharp diminished, G7, to a D7, then a turnaround. And I learned that song playing with guitar, a band I used to be in called Guitar Army, and that the lineup was a really cool group. It was Robin Ford playing guitar, Leroy Parnell playing guitar, and Leroy's a slide maestro, and me playing guitar, and Robin would play one of his songs, Leroy would play one of his songs, I would play one of my songs, and we'd all kind of back each other up, And we had a really great rhythm section as well, bass and drums and B3 organ for a little while. And we play a few kind of like standards, and that was one of them we played a few times. Forrest Fingerstyle says, "Hey Joe, what are your thoughts on anchoring the pinky? I noticed that Tommy and many other fingerstyle players do. Would you recommend that newer players learn with the pinky anchored?" Well, I think it's something you can do, or you don't have to do. When I anchor the pinky, it limits what I can do with my ring finger. So for anyone who's wondering what they're talking about anchoring the pinky of the right hand just like that. And you'll see Chet Atkins play kind of like that. And he mostly played with the thumb and two fingers, but I like to use the ring finger as well. Jerry Reed used to play a lot of tunes with the thumb pick and then the ring and middle fingers, and he didn't anchor his pinky. He would kind of, play all these really cool rolls, very influenced by kind of banjo playing. Using his ring finger quite a bit. So if I anchor my pinky, I just can't really use that ring finger. It's like some people have like a double jointed pinky or something. It just kind of depends on just the way your hand's built. But I don't anchor my pinky. I let the pinky do what it wants to do. You'll see it there, just kind of like hanging out. In some of Tommy Emmanuel's lessons, he'll talk about like anchoring all the fingers just so that you can get the thumb to do the work. Because step one of learning to play fingerstyle is just getting the thumb to be on autopilot. But anyway, I just noticed the color's a little different between my two cameras. Sorry about that. I'm just kind of constantly refining what I'm up to here in the studio. Oh, Joe, can you play a bit of James Taylor? I can't turn up playing a little bit of James Taylor. I love James Taylor. Can you tell us a bit about your musical influences, musicians, and genre style? Yeah, definitely Tommy Emmanuel is my primary guitar influence. Through him, I discovered the music of Chet Atkins and Lenny Breau and Mel Travis and Jerry Reed. Jerry Reed became a really big influence as well, of course. I've also been very influenced by people like George Benson, a lot of great jazz guitarists, Django Reinhardt, of course, who kind of influenced everybody that came after him. Electric guitar players, I'd say I'll talk about like my mentors. So I've been influenced by a lot of people, but the mentors that I've kind of most closely paid attention to what they're doing, and I got a chance to meet them. For acoustic guitar, my mentor is Tommy Emmanuel. I'm sure that comes as no surprise to many of you. With electric guitar, I'd say my two primary mentors are Robin Ford and Eric Johnson. And then for songwriting, Rodney Crowell. And it kind of goes on from there. But those are like some of my primary mentors and influences. There you go. Joe, can you play a bit of James Taylor? Yeah, I'll play some James Taylor. What James Taylor song should I play? I'll play Carolina on My Mind. How about that? If you enjoy the music and you want to leave a tip, the tip jar link is joerobinson.com/tipjar. Actually, Paulo has a request for Copperline. Yeah, I think Copperline's... Let's play Copperline. I like that song. It's been done less than Carolina on My Mind. Here we go. Even the old folks never knew why they call it like they do. I was wondering since the age of 2, down on Copperline. Copperhead, Copper Beach, Copper Kettle sitting side by each, Copper Coil, Copper Georgia Peach, down on Copperline. Half a mile down in Malden Creek, I'm only living for the end of the week. Hercules and a hard-nosed snake down on Copperline. We were down on Copperline. One summer night on the Copperline, slip away past supper time, wood smoke and moonshine down on Copperline. One time I saw my daddy dance, watched him moving like a man in a trance. He brought it back from the war in France down on Copperline. Branch water and tomato wine, creosote and turpentine, sour mash and new moonshine down on Copperline. We were down on Copperline. First kiss ever I took was like a page from a romance book. The sky opened and the earth shook down on Copperline. I took the fall from a windy height, I only knew how to hold on tight. We prayed for love enough to last all night down on Copperline. We were down on Copperline. Day breaks and the boy waits, and the dog barks and the angels sigh. Yeah, I try to go back as if I could, all spec house and plywood. Tore up good down on Copperline. Doesn't come as a surprise to me, doesn't touch my memory. I'm lifting up, rising free down on Copperline. Half a mile down a Morgan Creek, I'm only living for the end of the week. Hercules and a hard-nosed snake down on Copperline. We were down on Copperline. There we go. That was the fastest version of Copperline ever performed. Sorry about that. I kind of get into a groove and it's like, well, it'd be weird to slow down. It'd be weird to stop and start again. Alan Barton says, I'd love to see a gig with yourself, Tommy, and Richard Smith. That would be awesome. Do you have any plans to go on tour? You know, I don't really have any plans to go on tour. I am going to play some shows in California in September. But Richard Smith is coming to Bozeman, Montana, which is not too far from where we live. And I'm gonna go to his gig and bring my guitar and maybe we'll play a little bit. Richard and I have been friends for a long time, 15 years now, so I guess. Since I first moved to Nashville, he was one of the first people that kind of welcomed me to town. And yeah, he's a really great fella, an amazing player, of course. So there we go. It's 10 past the hour, just about, and I probably should play another song and then call it a day. But I wanted to say thank you very much for tuning in, and I hope you have a great rest of your weekend. What do you want me to play to finish up with? Got any requests? I should play an original song because I played a few covers. Played a few covers today. All of Me. I've had a few requests for All of Me. Why don't I play that? Yeah, as I said, I should play an original song. of Me is a good choice. Okay, here we go. One, two, three, four. All of me, why not take all of me? Can't you see I'm no good without you? Take my lips, I want to lose them. Take my arms, I'll never use them. Your goodbye left me with eyes that cry. So how can I go on, dear, without you? You took the part that once was my heart. Now why not take all of me? All of me, why not take all of me? Can't you see I'm no good without you? Take my lips, I want to lose them. Take my arms, I'll never use them. Your goodbye left me with eyes that cry. So how can I go on, dear, without you? You took the part that once was my heart. Now why not take all of me? thanks for indulging me there, everybody. I have a good time playing the guitar, I must admit. I appreciate you all tuning in and listening. Good fun. We got a couple of baby lambs here on the homestead. They're bum lambs, which is kind of a situation, from my understanding, of when the lambs are born and they're triplets in this case, and so the mother has a hard time feeding 3 baby lambs, and so usually has one that gets a bit hungry, and then it's going around trying to bum milk off the other ewes. And so we have a really nice local farmer who we contacted and said, hey, if you want to pass those bum lambs on to a good home, we'll take them, and so we have them. So yeah, lots of fun raising sheep. I'm a shepherd. Play guitar, I raise sheep, and all that stuff. You know, whenever I post a picture or a video online doing like stuff around the property, not that I do that very often, people are like, be careful of your hands. And I had to think about it for a while, and I was like, you know what? If people knew how many hours I spent splitting firewood in my childhood, I probably spent more time doing that than I did playing the guitar. Anyway, Zach said, good fun. If you ever stop that little laugh when you finish a song, I will unsubscribe. Yeah, I probably have all kinds of little habits that I do like that. But the truth is, music is joyful experience. And Manny Vibe says, you need some hens. Oh, we got some hens. We're getting about 11 eggs a day. 3 of them are duck eggs. So I hope they slow down a little bit, because that's a little too much to eat. No rooster. No, we don't have a rooster. We do have a drake. And yeah, he's pretty well behaved. So anyway, hope you all have a great rest of your weekend. Thanks very much for tuning in. Take good care, and see you all again soon. Bye.